What's going on, y'all? I'm Brandon, Atlanta Man Bang, coming to you live right here from Coach's Corner, the center of the universe, Thunderbolt, Georgia, man. Hey, as we always do on Wednesdays, man, we're going to get into some NASCAR stuff going down this week. Got a couple bye weeks, so got some things to talk about behind the scenes and different people getting swapped around and a race from last week. But we're going to have to wait till next week to get it on there again and talk about some top fives and what we're looking forward to. But hey, man, thank you guys for tuning in. As always, we're going to go ahead and get this thing started off with the word of the day. Man, as you guys know, if you watch the show, How to Play Along, basically what happens is my producer Lawrence is going to put a word right up here. Every time I say that word, you're going to take a sip of your favorite adult beverage, whether it's a mixed drink, shot, beer. Play along any way you want to play along. As I always say, age appropriate as well. If you're under the age of 21, man, grab some Kool-Aid, sweet tea, soda, whatever it may be. Go ahead and get sugared up, man. Give it hell. I know school's getting ready to get back in, man, so the summer's winding down. You might as well go ahead and get it out of you before the school year starts. But so last week's word of the day was bubble. Don't know how many times I said that, but I know it had to be at least a couple. So we'll try a little bit harder this week. We're going to find out what Lawrence is going to throw up there again. Word of the day this week is going to be something somewhere around me. Whatever it is, like I said, every time I say it, take a sip of your favorite drink, man. Play along, have a good time. Moving right along into NASCAR news, getting the show started out. You can't start it any other way other than saying, man, Eric Almirola, man. I mean, wins the Foxwood Casino 301 here in New Hampshire. You know, what a crazy day from start to finish. You know, got called a little bit short there. 8 laps, I think, is what it was short when they called the 10 to go by NASCAR. We'll get into that a little bit later on. But, hey, man, a guy that was 27th in points turns around and locks himself into the playoffs with that win. So big shout-out to that 10 team over there with Eric Almirola, man. Big news, maybe not so much in what happened last weekend at New Hampshire, but what is going to happen here in the future. Brad Keselowski moving on from Penske, moving on over to Roush Fenway Racing. 34 out of 35 Cup wins the man has come at Team Penske. Champion there as well, man. This championship driver making big moves. Headed over to drive that 6 car at Roush. Not only that, going to take some ownership stake and be ahead of a certain developmental department over there as well at Roush Fenway. So big deal with Brad Keselowski, man. Think he's going to do anything but elevate that team back to what it once was. If you know and you've been watching the sport long enough, you know Roush was a powerhouse there for a very long time as far as Ford went. In the later years, it has declined. So I think Brad Keselowski is definitely probably going to take that back up into the right direction, man. So big news there. Cat's out of the bag. Now he can just go out and be the race car driver that he is, try to contend the best he can for that 2 team over there at Roger Penske, man, and see what happens at the end of the year. But big news right there. So with that big news being dropped, things kind of get shuffled around as far as Austin Cindric goes, a guy that is a developmental driver down the Xfinity Series for Penske, and it was you know, labeled for him to move into the 21 Wood Brothers. That's not going to be the case anymore. He's moving right up into that Blue Deuce, the 2 car there at Penske, taking over from Brad Keselowski. You know, so got a young kid, pretty good race car driver there, moving into some really good equipment. You know, getting his feet wet a little bit this year, racing in a few different races. We'll see how it is, the full schedule. There again, I say a lot of talent, getting into really good equipment. It still takes a few years to get it under your belt and get it figured out for most guys. So we'll see what he does here next season in that first, you know, full season reign as a rookie. But there again, as we all know, it you know, shit rolls downhill. Where's my swear bucket there, Lawrence? There it is, man. We'll go ahead and get it out of the way. Boom, $1 going in. Going to help save one of our own charity here. We'll get to that a little bit more. But as we all know, it does roll downhill, man. So with Austin Cindric moving into the 2 instead of the 21, looks like Harrison Burton, from what I'm hearing, is going to be the driver of that 21, and Matt Benedetto is going to be on the outside looking in, man, which is really sad in a way, man. I really like Matt Benedetto. I think he is a really good, race car driver. He's ran really good. He's brought the Wood Brothers. I don't think they quite lived up to expectations over the past, especially this season, is what you would think where they should be. But at the end of the day, man, I tell you what, it's a hard job to go out and do, and it's very hit and miss, and it just shows you how close these guys compete, not only as talented as drivers, but also equipment that they get in and race. So as I said, man, very, very hard deal to do. Hopefully Matt ends up somewhere else, with an open seat for a different race team, maybe looking to develop or change some drivers up, maybe try something a little new. But at the end of the day, I really do hope that he goes out and finds a ride, and definitely, does really well wherever he may go. Silly season's just getting started there. We're getting some moves now. We still have some up in the airs also elsewhere. So we're just going to have to see how the rest of this season plays out and see what drivers get shaken up at the end of the season. But I tell you what, as of right now, it seems how crazy it was that Brad Keselowski moves, the Cindric thing changes, then also now Harrison Burton and Matt Benedetto being on the outside. But like I said, we'll have to get back to that. Keep you up to date right here on Rubbin and Grubbin and let you know how that does, man. Now time for a little social media, man. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. As I say every Wednesday, if this is the first time tuning in, make sure you go like, share, follow all of our social media. Check us out on our YouTube channel, Rubbin and Grubbin. No G, like I said, keep it country around here. Lawrence does a great job editing videos, throwing it off of Facebook Live, and throwing extra tidbits in there for you. Go like, share, follow, subscribe to that for sure. As we all know, this is a charity thing that we do, and the more followers we get, the more people we can get this out to, and hopefully just spread the word on the charity events that we're doing here at Coaches, help raise money for great causes that we do, man. But yeah, definitely check us out. But whew, man, I hope you guys are having a good time. Wednesday, pretty quiet in here as of right now. Trivia is going to be cranking up here soon, up here at Coaches, man, so stay tuned on that. But getting right into the next thing, the New Hampshire Recap, man. What an amazing, great race we had there at New Hampshire. Didn't start out that way. Pretty bad deal, great overall race. Love the absolute way that they race at New Hampshire, man. You see that bottom groove be the dominant groove, top hangs for a while, man, but guys just passing each other back and forth, getting that guy loose ahead of you, making the move. Great racing there at New Hampshire, man. Didn't start out that way so great, like I said. The pole sitter, Mr. Candyman himself, he went for a little ride as his teammate Martin Truex Jr. there. Probably ruined a couple pretty good race cars there off the bat. So my question for you guys out there is, did NASCAR make the right call by starting the race? You know what I mean? Did they make the right call? Should have they just waited and seen what that cell was going to do and then ultimately just started when it restarted eventually? I don't know what the right call was. I think maybe they thought it was just going to be light rain showers, maybe get some of it in now and get some of it in later. But at the end of the day, it cost the pole setter and the Candy Man there probably a pretty good race. Judging by what Christopher Bell did, I would say the 18 and the 19 probably had some pretty good equipment there. Just didn't get to showcase it due to that call. So definitely comment if you're watching on Facebook Live. If you're watching on our YouTube channel here later on when Lawrence gets it posted up, man, drop a comment in there. Let us know what you think. We'll definitely get back to you on that, man. But would love to hear what you think. But second part of that is Kyle Busch there again, being a little bit of Kyle Busch, showing a little bit of frustration going up there bumping the pace car. Kind of in a way, don't know, jokingly letting NASCAR know, hey, I'm not happy, you just kind of wrecked this, or just, hey, joking around with the guy in the pace car. But at the end of the day, fair or foul that he didn't receive any kind of penalty for it. Here we are moving into a generational thing in NASCAR that we're trying to take it to a safer level, right? We just got the news there again on the crash test that happened there, with the new next gen car there at Talladega with the crash test dummies. They're going to release that data here soon. NASCAR is happy with the findings that they found of the safety of that race car and the impacts and different things that they were looking at. So we're moving forward. Chassis are getting shipped out. Not going to be long. These race teams are going to be receiving this and going ahead and getting working on that, as well as trying to contend for this 2021 championship. So going to be very interesting to see who kind of rises and who kind of falls off with it, with these different angles and different things getting thrown in here coming up soon. But there again, in my book, I don't think it was too much of a foul. I don't really think it's fair, but also in the day when we're moving into a safer NASCAR, as I said, I mean, you can't be doing things like that, man. I mean, you're in a race car, you hit that wall going 55 in that race car, it's going to feel like a bump in the road. You know, it's just designed that way. Now that pace car, you know, doing that, and let's just say, God forbid, he's not paying attention or loses control, or has something happens. Who knows? God forbid, knows what happens, turns him into that wall going 50, 45, 40, 50 miles an hour, however fast it may be. Hopefully, Kyle Busch keep that in mind next time. That's just my opinion. There again, like I said, never been a fan of the characteristics of him. Never take away from the talent the man is a race car driver, and honestly, like I said, probably one of the best ones to do it, but just not my cup of tea as a driver. So maybe NASCAR will take that in, soak that in, and let it go, man. But I tell you what a great race there again for fans at New Hampshire. Put on a great show. Like I said, weather, they did the best they could. They had to call the race, I think, 8 laps short there. Called 10 to go with 18 to go. And to be honest, I kind of needed those 8 laps, man. I had Christopher Bell up here in my Game of Skillet coaches. I needed those 8 laps. And I really needed Austin Dillon to race him harder for about 3 more laps. And man, I would have been right there, ready to go ahead and bring home that nice grand prize here at Coaches. But I tell you what, man, like I said, now the only thing that's going to make New Hampshire better is when they put lights in up there, and we don't have to worry about that happening ever again, and maybe even have a night race at New Hampshire. I think that would be freaking awesome, man. So there again, another little idea to throw out there to Mr. Bruton Smith. I know he got plenty of money, and I know he's making big changes right now at Atlanta, but maybe in a couple years down the road, man, I know you gave up 1 race at New Hampshire. Let's at least get that race at New Hampshire maybe under the lights on a Sunday or under the lights on a Saturday, man. I think that would be awesome, amazing race up there. So, like I said, man, Aric Almirola comes home victorious, man. There again from 27th place in the points, locking himself into the playoff picture as of right now, man. God, I tell you what, it's got to be interesting, man, and what a great feeling. And as you heard Aric say, man, they had this circled on the calendar. Man, to come back and have a dominating race car there late in that race, man, they were definitely running it. I thought Christopher Bell was coming on late there strong. Maybe Almirola was dealing with a little bit of traffic, obviously with Austin Dillon. I know he did, raced him a little hard there. But at the end of the day, everybody's got their own agenda, man. And I tell you what, I would have loved to see that race go those extra 8 laps, the actual full amount on those 8 laps, and see maybe what Christopher Bell might have been able to do there. But man, he was coming on. But Almirola was such a dominating race car, and what a nicer guy and a greater guy that really needed to win, to go out and win. And an even crazier thing, who would have believed me right now if I would have told you at the start of the 2021 season that Aric Almirola would be the first guy out of Stewart-Haas Racing to win a race this year, man. Won a race before Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick hadn't even smelled the finish line in first place yet this year, man. I don't know what's going on, but obviously they had this circled, had good equipment. Kevin Harvick's won that race before there at New Hampshire, run strong. I don't know, hit and miss, got to get it lined out. But I tell you what a great run there for Aric Almirola, man. Another guy that I had here at our Game of Skill, and I really thought I had it locked up, Mr. Joey Logano himself, man. I tell you what, for a guy that underneath that they worked on the car, had debris in the intake or the manifold or in part of the engine, the breathing part of the engine or in the engine itself or whatever it may be. At the end of the day, man, decided that they were going to get that under red flag, take the hit early, long race to do it other than crank it up, maybe do internal damage later. I say, I've said it for years and I'll say it right here, Paul Wolfe is probably one of the brightest minds since Chad Knaus that came into the sport of NASCAR, man. This guy is a mad scientist on that box. He does things out of the box. He goes about things a little bit different than other crew chiefs. I tell you, there's a lot of other good ones out there, but I tell you what, Paul Wolfe to me is, and I said it since day one when he came in with Brad Keselowski. I tell you what, man, what a bright mind. Takes the two lap hit early, and Joey Logano brings it home 4th, man. Such a fast race car there on very long runs there towards the end of that race as well. Hell, we had a late caution, round that thing up and get that thing together, man. There's no telling what Joey Logano could have done. Definitely probably could have went up there and won that race, man. But there again, another great run for him as well. Ford, another amazing, dominating freaking performance there in New Hampshire. As I said last week, Chevrolet's only won 2 out of the last 14 races held there. Ford is dominating it along with the Toyotas, man. But I tell you what, another strong performance. I think they had 6 out of the top 11 drivers there. But there again, another track that just brings the best out of Ford and what they do there, man. So, you know, moving it back in, man, Christopher Bell, as I said earlier, in that Joe Gibbs Toyota, had an amazing run there. Been kind of quiet since that win on that Daytona road course earlier in the season. But I tell you what, I think he's coming in to find his own right here, coming towards a very hot part of the season, getting into those playoffs, man. Look, coming down to the nitty-gritty, we only got 3 races, Lawrence, 3 races, 2 road courses, and 4 races. 2 road courses, Michigan, and a restrictor plate race at Daytona for the regular season, man. So we're getting down to the nitty-gritty, and it's time for these guys to really start putting this together, man. And I think Christopher Bell's getting the ball rolling at the right time. You've seen the great runs out of his teammate Kyle Busch over the last few weeks, bar that what happened at New Hampshire. I don't blame the man there. That's just one of those racing deals that happens, and when NASCAR says go, you got to go. Nobody goes harder than that man, but he ended up wrecking. But you see what kind of equipment they got. Already got a race win under his belt early. So, man, I tell you what, kid's got an uber amount of talent. Won that Xfinity race on Saturday to keep his perfect record at New Hampshire. Every start he has at New Hampshire in Xfinity, he's won. Really thought he could have got the job done there on Sunday. Just came up a few laps short, or things just didn't quite fall his way, man. But I tell you what, getting it back, you know, you could only guess what the 18 and the 19 would have done out of the JGR camp as well. But a great run for Christopher Bell, man. So regular season point standings did not change as far as the top 5, 6 go from last week to this week. We'll run them down real quick, man. 1, Denny Hamlin in the 11. Kyle Larson comes home second in that 5. You got Kyle Busch, William Byron. You got Chase Elliott and Joey Logano still holding strong right there, doing their thing. Playoff picture, Larson still leading it, as you really would know that he would. The 19 still right there, holding strong in second place. Kyle Busch, third place, 18. Denny Hamlin, the 11. And then my boy, my man, Chase Elliott right there in 5th, getting ready to look in. Now, something that's definitely changed up here in this bubble picture, man, is that bubble right there in 16th, 17th, 15th place. Man, you got 2 teammates right there trying to run it out and race each other right here for the last spot in the playoffs as we sit right now. You know, barring another winner, first-time winner this season, which there's still a couple really good guys out there that are kind of ahead of them, that it's not going to hurt too bad. But anybody below that cut line, a Matt Benedetto, a Ross Chastain, any of those guys right there win a race is going to shake this bubble picture again. But you got Tyler Reddick and you got Austin Dillon right there racing against each other right there at RCR, both teammates. I tell you what, man, Kevin Harvick's not safe off this bubble watch either. I think he's 82 to the good. You know, one bad run and one of these guys have a couple really good runs, get some stage points, do a couple certain things, man. 2 races out of 4 coming on a restrictor plate, 2 road courses, and Michigan, man. I tell you what, the 4's got to be real careful about how they game plan on these next 4 races. Definitely not to get caught up in anything at Daytona when you need to have a really good, solid finish. So he needs to go out and run it really strong here at these next 2 road courses and at Michigan and put himself in that Daytona race where it doesn't matter, he's locked in. But I tell you what, man, it's going to be interesting to watch that battle and see what can happen between those teammates there, man. See if they could, you know, see if they can get it together, man. And like I said, with Kurt Busch and Almirola winning, it really puts them farther back. They got to have some runs here. They got to have something go their way, or they got to go out and win. So be on the lookout for RCR to go throw all their chips in the hat, man, and go for that win big time, man. Hey, now it gets into one of my favorite parts of the show, y'all. You know, it's Checkered Fly for charity, what we do up here at Coach's Corner on Rubbin and Grubbin all the time. Favorite part of the show. So what we do every week, man, is whatever the car number is that wins a race, we donate that into our swear bucket. That all that money goes to help save one of our own here, a local charity in Savannah. All stays local, man. Like I said, they do a lot of great things. Help us all the time up here at Coach's Corner, man, with Becca Bash, Randy Palooza. You know, John and Adele Henderson also contribute to everything they do, as they do what John and Adele Henderson have going on up here at Coach's, man. 2 of the best people that I know will give you this shirt off their back for this community and ask nothing in return, man. So as I say all the time, nickels, pennies, dimes, 10s, 20s, 150s, does not matter, man. Whatever you got spare change-wise, come up here and donate. If you're here having lunch, having some drinks after work, happy hour with your buds, man, round it up to the nearest dollar, man. tell them you want to do it. Tell them you want to donate $5 to Checkered Fly for charity. Whatever it may be, man, all of it helps go to help save one of our own, man. With that being said, I've got something special that I'm going to be doing up here at Coach's Corner over the next couple weekends. We have a couple cooler full of joys that we're going to be raffling off, man. My stepson, Caden, lost his best friend here as of recent, man, and that family's really going through some things. 15 years old, almost coming up on his 16th birthday, man. You know, lost a very young member of their family. He fought really hard, but his illness, you know, kind of overtook it, and he passed away. So what we're going to do up here is the Coach's family, as like I said, we do everything for this community, man. The kid was at my house all the time, man. What a great kid, really good human being, man. Always a pleasure to talk to, really funny guy, conversated with you. My wife picked him up from school. But getting on what we're going to be doing up here, man, is we're going to have a cooler full of joy. And this is not going to be a normal cooler full of joy, man. It is going to have some really good stuff in there, man. I promise you that. But we're going to be raffling it off starting tomorrow through Saturday evening. We're going to turn around and do another one the following week as well. So if you guys are up here at Coach's Corner for any of the live music coming up, any event at all, the cooler is going to be here on display for you to take a look at, see what's in it, see what kind of stuff we got going on. Tickets are going to be $5, 3 for 10, 6 for 20. Like I said, man, it all goes to a good cause on that. But getting back to Checkered Fly for Charity, the norm, 10-car wins, $10 is never good enough up here on Rubbin and Grubbin, man. That's 20 buckets right there, 20 bucks going right there into the bucket, man. Like I say all the time, come up here, throw some money in the bucket, donate, all to help the local community, man. That's what it's absolutely all about, man. Now we're getting into my favorite, second favorite segment of the show, man. Who's hot and who's not, man. And I love talking to Ish because I'm telling you right now, this changes week to week. Sometimes it's really hard for me to come out like this past week. Everybody was kind of mute, honestly, other than Armorola, right? But I can't put Armorola on the who's hot list because he got to win. I mean, we can't just do that. You know, he's got to win, but I mean, we got to go out and next week he can finish 32nd. I mean, I got to see what he's going to do here over the next 4 or 5 races, right? But anyways, getting on to it, man. Looks like Penske got things moving in the right direction. I tell you what, man. Between Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, and Ryan Blaney right there, pretty sure they came home 3, 4, and 5 right there. Those Penske boys put on a show right there. I tell you, the battle between Brad Keselowski and Ryan Blaney is ultimately, I think, what gave Eric Almirola the lead there in that second segment or early part of the stage 3. Them boys were just going back and forth, man. And that is what I love about New Hampshire, just being able to, you know, get past and come right back and pass a guy and pass, you know, just trading that spot back and forth, man, and watching guys just kind of creep up and get in the picture as well. So, man, it looks like they got their stuff together and they're rolling in the right direction, and that could spell trouble for some guys over there in that Chevrolet camp at Hendrick. Knock on wood. I'm not sweating. I'm a Chase Elliott fan. I know what we got going on over at Hendrick, man. We're just biding time. We got road courses coming up, which I'll make a bet right now. I'll donate $50 into a charity event here at Coach's if Chase Elliott does not win one of 2 of the road courses here coming up in these next 4 races. If he does not win a road course race, I'm donating $50 right here on the show. Mark my words, man. But I tell you what, not only that, you got Michigan coming up with Kyle Larson himself. Are you kidding me, man? You seen what he's done at Michigan in Ganassi equipment? Man, you getting ready to see those Chevrolets wound up, tuned up, and rolling, buddy, there at Michigan, man. Especially with Larson the Martian behind the wheel, man, I'm telling you. There again, leading me right into the guy number 2. Boom, Kyle Larson, still, man, king of the mountain right now. Not so much really good run here the past couple weeks. 7th top Chevrolet driver there in New Hampshire. Fastest Chevrolet, as you can say, man. But I tell you what, didn't go out and lead a lot of laps, didn't dominate, which I really wanted to see how good Chevrolet raced here at New Hampshire. And to be honest, there weren't many Chevrolets up there contending for that win very often. But, you know, for the lead in the battle and for that win. But, you know, 7th isn't nothing to shy at. And, you know, they got a couple other guys in there in that Hendrick camp, couple good runs, couple bad runs, maybe trying some stuff out, very similar to Phoenix, as we heard on the broadcast. So maybe they tried some new setups in a couple cars, just see what it would do. And maybe it didn't roll the right way for him. But there again, Kyle Larson still the man, cream of the crop, man. I had to put this guy on here. I know he's had a couple inconsistent runs here as of late. Ross Chastain, the Watermelon Man. I tell you what, man, he's trying to sneak his way into these playoffs here, and is it possible they could do it? I think Michigan, and I think probably the Indianapolis road course is going to be his best bet. Watkins Glen, these guys have raced on. They know he's not going to go out and surprise anybody there. Now, we saw what he did on Circuits of the Americas. Had a great run there, really strong there late. So coming into a new road course there again, a lot of these NASCAR guys haven't raced on in real life. He could go out and probably do the same thing again. But my racetrack I would circle Ross Chastain for is going to be Michigan. There again, as I said earlier, we saw what the 42 Ganassi did when Kyle Larson was behind the wheel. The equipment hadn't changed that much. You got Ross Chastain, a guy that is not scared to hang that thing out there, dude, and go for it. You know, a little too aggressive at times, but very aggressive. You know, if he reels that in and gets the tune right, I think that maybe Michigan could be the track you might see this guy sneak into the playoff picture if it's going to happen. But one of those two for me, for sure. So that's going to wrap it up for the Who's Not, or Who's Hot. Getting into my third favorite part, the Who's Not, man. I love this too. Who's Not, man. I got to put this guy on blast, Kevin Harvick. Man, I tell you what, it has just not been Kevin Harvick's year at all, man. Here's a guy that goes out, wins 9 races last year, you know, turns around, doesn't make the playoffs, missed it right there in the cutoff race to make that Final Four. And as I said, started out pretty consistent in a few races, but has picked up where he left off at the end of the season. The consistency just hasn't been there in the whole stretch of what we call the regular season so far. He hasn't been up front leading laps. He hasn't won that many stages. He hasn't contended for wins, especially at places that you expect him to go out and have a dominating car. And then for Eric Almirola to be the first winning guy over at Stewart-Haas Racing, hey, man, hand to the Bible, brother. You got to get this together, man. You need Jesus in your life, man. But I tell you what, man, hopefully he gets this together. I never count this guy out. He's such a veteran, and they're very good. That crew chief driver combo between Childers and him has been great for years. As I said earlier in the season, I'll say it again, maybe it's getting a little stale. We saw it with Jimmy Johnson and Chad Canals, guys that won 80-plus races, 7 championships, man. So maybe it's time for a change if that's what Kevin Harvick wants to keep doing. I don't know what the answer is to it, or maybe they just got to have better runs, but they got to get it together here coming in. 4 races left, man. 4 races left, and we're into the playoffs. So, and another guy I hate to put on the list, probably like I said, my favorite car number in the sport, second favorite driver, William Byron, man. He's starting to cool off. Had a great streak of top 10s there through the first 11 races. Was doing big things, showed consistency throughout, got that win there at Miami. But I tell you what, in the last 3 races, he has a 20-place finish or worse, man. So they got to get this back together, kind of take a deep breath, man. Just go out and have a solid run, maybe not contend for that win, do anything crazy, but just a solid run here coming up at a road course at Watkins Glen. Get those points rolling in the right way, get that momentum built back, get that morale built back, and move on in, man, and get that 24 car here in that Final Four. Like I said, man, I need all 4 Hendrick cars in that Final Four, man. That's what I need in my life. That's what not betting the house on it, but I said it, man. I said it. It's a possibility. So, hey, man, this is my time. We're going to take it this week. Got to give my boy Parker Eccles a big shout out over there at Arbor Man Tree Service, man. Main sponsor of Rubbin' Grubbin other than Coach's Corner and John and Adele Henderson themselves, man. This man right here does so much for everything that we do up here at Coach's and everything that I do here on Rubbin' and Grubbin, man. Hadn't had a chance to give him a phone call, which I probably need to do here before the end of the week and talk to him about this Atlanta race and see how he liked that experience, man, and talk to him about that. We used to go together when we were teenagers and younger than that, growing up together. He would come with me and my family up there, man. We had some fun times, man. But this, my boy, like I say all the time, man, anything you need done tree service-wise, man, stump grinding, tree removal, just, you know, branches getting trimmed back, even just an estimate or a look to say, hey, man, might want to get this trimmed up, hurricane season, might want to get this taken out, it's dying on you, this is a little too far over the house, whatever it may be, man. Make sure you get Parker Eccles over at Arbor Man Tree Service a call. Man, as I say all the time, no job too big, too small, no tree too tall. Give Parker a call. He's going to definitely take care of you, man. So, as I said, we don't really have a race to look forward to coming up here, you know, next week or the week after. But what I want to ask you guys is, come on, hit it on, man. Give me some stuff to talk about here next week, man. Ask you guys what you think of the season in general so far. Man, I tell you what, I think this 2021 season has been absolutely amazing. I really hate to see us swap it over into a brand new race car next year. I really hope this next gen car lives up to all the hype, brings on really good racing, that we've seen. I know it's going to take a couple years for them to get it right, a couple tweaks here and there, I'm sure, along the way. But, man, I tell you, I really just wish NASCAR would stop and give these guys a base platform to work off of for 5 to 7 years without changing anything and letting these guys play, because the racing we're experiencing right now, man, is really, really good racing. It really is. It's the best we've seen in a very long time, if you ask me, in this sport. So hopefully they take that into mind, man. But I would love to hear what you guys have to say about that. Maybe steer NASCAR in a direction with your thoughts and comments, man. Always greatly appreciated. But, man, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Here again, big shout out to Green White Checkered. If you guys tuned in there on ESPN Coastal 104.3 here local, or on SoundCloud, if you guys tuned in, man, you did not hear me last Sunday. We had to kind of pre-record the show last minute. PJ had some things going on. I totally left my phone at the house, missed the time we were supposed to do it, so he went ahead and did it without me. Looking forward to getting back on it this Sunday. If you hadn't tuned in yet, every Sunday, 9 to 9:30, ESPN Coastal 104.3 ESPN. Like I said, check that out. Man, we get you caught up from what's happened from Wednesday to Sunday. Get that day going good, man. Get you hyped up for that race coming in Sunday. This week, probably not going to be getting too hyped about a race coming up, but we're definitely going to be talking about a lot of NASCAR news, man. A lot of cool stuff. So, hey, moving right in, man, it's not only called, rubbing and grubbing, man. We talked about the rubbing. Now we're going to talk about the grubbing. I got a little special hidden gem right here from Coach's Corner, man. One of my favorite little snacks. Really simple, man. The bread and cheese, bro. The bread and the hot queso. You cannot go wrong with this, man. It's filling. Quick little snack. Gives you a great base to go out and have plenty of Bud Lights on, man, which I'm definitely going to have some more of this bread when I get off, and I'm definitely probably going to have a couple more Bud Lights. But at the end of the day, man, as I say all the time, dude, John and Adele Henderson up here at Coach's Corner absolutely have it going on. Great food, great drinks, great times, man, good fun. Got every kind of sport you could possibly think of up here on numerous TVs. Live music, man. As I say all the time, come out, support your local freaking Coach's Corner, man, because this is what it's all about right here. That's going to wrap us up right here for Rubbin' and Grubbin' tonight, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, as y'all do every single Wednesday. Don't know if Coach Carl DeMassi's coming on with that sports report tonight or not. He might be, he might not, might be a surprise. Oh, got basketball stuff going on. Hey, Coach Carl loves the kids, man. Always keeping them ready, man. Always trying to build that Islands High School, man. Go Sharks, that's what I'm talking about, Coach. But, hey, man, as you can tune in, catch them on Who's on First Base as well with Kyle Lawson, breaking it down, all baseball, Braves, Savannah Bananas, where they think the league's directed, man. All kinds of baseball news, man. Keeping you hype on everything baseball. Hot grits out there, Travis and Spencer dropping dimes on, Spotify, on Apple, on everything that they do out there, man, doing their podcast, man. Got to get together with these guys soon. We got a little thing coming up. Need to text with them, get up a time, man. We're going to start making a few prop bets over there on Hot Grits. So you will be catching Brandon, Atlanta Man, banging over there, popping in every so often on Hot Grits as well. 19th hole with the Herb brothers. Them boys been MIA for a little while. I ain't seen neither one of them, man. But next time I see Brandon Herb, I am going to ask him, has he ever seen my bowling form? And just say what up to a champ, because I do got to refer to both them boys as champions. But we got to get something here together before the end of summer, man. Maybe like a little Labor Day challenge or something, man. I don't know. We're going talk amongst ourselves and come up with something we got to get going here before the end of summer, man. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, man, check us out every Wednesday live right here at Coach's Corner, the center of the universe on Coach's Sports Network. Big shout out to John and Dale Henderson, man. Thank you for everything y'all do for us, man. Hope everybody has a great night. Hug the loves, love the one, or hug the loves you. Oh, man, whatever, man. Just give everybody a kiss that you love, man. That's what I'm trying to say, man. Y'all have a great night. Check in next Wednesday. Got some new stuff going down, man. God bless. Y'all be safe. Love y'all.